I have a wheel here with all 39 skulls currently in the game, and I have to spin this wheel to see who I get and then build a run around that character and beat the first hero. So let's get into it. And we are back again with the wheel, so let's give this a shuffle, give this a spin. And who are you going to be making us build a run around this time? It does look like we are going to be doing a bomber build. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead, pick Bomber up, and let's build a run around him. Okay, so we have Bomber here with the Kaboom ability, and for our wildcard item, because we are wanting to go for an all-out swap build, we are going to be picking the Omen Idol of the Forgotten.
Nice.
Now, if we are lucky, I will show you after the adventurers, if we get 30 bone fragments, us upgrading Bomber to unique. Otherwise, I'll see you just before the Yggdrasil fight, so let's go. Now, we are able to actually get Bomber upgraded to unique, and we have actually found the guy we are going to be pairing him up with, which is Gravedigger.
Yes, 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 yes.
And I know a lot of you have wanted me to do a grave run for a long time. So that is who we are going to be pairing him up with, because he really does work well with Bomber, especially when we get him upgraded to Legendary, because that is when his true power will come out. But I will see you guys now at the Yggdrasil fight. Now, just before we get to the Yggdrasil fight, we do actually get King Slime.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So we are going to be destroying a few items here, like the Abandoned Wedding Ring, the Carlane Insignia, Rejuvenating Root, and the basic Carlane Staff. Now, if we get double Omen Idol of the Forgotten, that would be very, very insane. I'm fine if Inner Flames gets Duke, because I'm not going to be getting rid of that. So let's speak to King Slime here, and please just make this run way too good. And what is it you are going to be duplicating for us? It is going to be Inner Flame, which is quite unfortunate, but it's certainly not bad for this build. And we are also going to be taking Prayer of Grace for the Mana Cycle and Relic. Now, we've got 32 bone fragments, so we can't get Bomber upgraded to Legendary just quite yet. And for the items we are rocking, we have Omen Idol of the Forgotten, double Inner Flame, and Prayer of Grace. Now, this fight should be an absolute breeze for us going into Yggdrasil, so let's go ahead and kill him.
Okay, let's go.
Now, Gravy here will get a lot more powerful when we can actually go ahead and get him upgraded to Legendary, but that is going to have to wait for Bomber, because this is the main focus of this video, is him. So we're going to be upgrading him to Legendary as quickly as possible. So we're really looking to find a few rares or uniques early on in the game, and we're already out of the first phase of Yggdrasil here, which I would expect. This build is very, very good at the minute. If you could only find something like Raven Monarch's Feather or just a little bit more Mutant, it would work even better. But the first thing we are going to be doing is actually buying Go-Getter, just to really amplify our damage of the Omen Idol of the Forgotten, because that is the best and main part about him. And Yggdrasil is already dead. Getting that constant 120% magic boost is quite nice through Inner Flame. So let's open the chest here, see what we are going to be getting. And you know what, we might as well actually take the Unknown Seed for now. Hopefully we can get that upgraded to the World Tree Seed later on in the game. But for now, let's make our way over to the Curses. Okay, so I did just want to interrupt today's video to say thank you for all the support we have been getting on the recent Skul videos. I'm going to try and hit 400 subscribers by the end of April. So if you are new here, make sure you do drop a like, subscribe, and let's get back into the build. And we are going to be taking Go-Getter, maxing that out, and also buying Super Baby because we've got the Omen item. And you know what, I know we've been using it a lot recently, but we have found it again, so we will go ahead and take Coward. And let's move on here. Now, we are actually going to upgrade Gravy here into Rare just to make things a little bit better for him. And there we go, that does really just kind of help out with our damage. It does get a little bit better upgrading from common to rare, so we might as well. And now we just got to worry about trying to get this guy upgraded to Legendary. Hopefully we can do it just after the Sisters fight, but I don't know if that's a huge ask. And then after that, it's kind of just worrying about trying to get Gravy upgraded to Legendary, hopefully at some point in Act 3. So let's move on. We are going to be focusing Skull Rooms as much as possible. And let's just go for the Kaboom damage here. Luckily, we are doing a lot of damage ourselves with Bomber himself, and Gravy will be doing a little bit more damage, just not right now when he's rare. So let's speak to the remaining one. Berserker, that is very nice to get destroyed this early on in the game.
Thank you.
And let's see who we get here. Hunter can get destroyed. We're onto the shop. I'm going to take the Miracle Drug here. We'll also take the Lunar Ring and the Green Flask. We'll let Werewolf get destroyed and move on to the next Skull Room. Now, the way this build is going to be different, as you know, Bomber is used as a support skull. You can't just do a Bomber only run unless you get get very lucky and get him duplicated, or just do an actual bomber only run through modded, which is the strongest build you can just do in this game permanently. Double bomber with kaboom. When you get them both to legendary, nothing will stop you. It is the most broken effect in this game is swapping. So I might have to try that at least one time in the future. I'm certainly not going to do it for a very long time now. And let's open the chest here. Nothing really too good, so we might as well take the holy footsteps, move on to the adventurer fight, and we are actually going to be able to get bomb upgraded to legendary after this fight, which is really quite good for us. So let's go after the archer first. We can smack some Macbeths down, get Gravy a little bit of damage, and we just want to be going for the kabooms, making sure our swaps are nice and clean. We don't want to be taking too many hits in. She's going to get stunned and killed here. Only got the warrior to worry about now, but luckily a few kabooms should be able to take this guy out. Same with Macbeth, and there we go, they're all dead. We're actually going to take warriors pauldrons, and we can go ahead and destroy living armor. Let's go ahead and upgrade bomber here into legendary. And it is quite unfortunate we weren't actually able to get 10 more bone fragments to upgrade Gravy into unique for the sisters.
No! No! No!
But he should work out fine now we've got legendary bomber. He just does way too much damage, especially with double inner flame. Gravy's really going to look a lot more stronger than he normally would. But you guys do deserve it, since, especially in the Discord, you have been asking me to do a Gravy run for a long time. And if you're not in the Discord, there will be a link down in the description. So make sure you do go ahead and join. I will be waiting for you in there. But luckily now we've got bomber at legendary, who we do actually just get his kaboom ability off every time we swap into him, which is very, very nice. And let's see who we get. Mummy can get destroyed. Let's move on to the shop. I'm going to be opening the red flask, swapping shield out for Water Skull and him for Gravy. We're also going to destroy the holy footsteps and take the 10 bone fragments here, and we can move on because we do want to get this guy upgraded to legendary as quickly as possible. We're not going to be able to do it just after the sisters, I don't think, unless we get insanely lucky with a legendary, but I do not think that's going to happen. So that is why we are rushing, trying to get as many skulls as possible right now, and it's probably going to be like that for the entire run, just because after we've got these guys up to legendary, we do want to try and get his totems maxed out as well, or definitely at least his HP, so we can let warrior get destroyed here. We are going to be able to get this guy up to unique after the sisters fight, and we're just going to be taking this nice and smart. We just want to be swapping in and dealing damage where we can, not getting too risky. So let's go ahead and kill the sisters.
This is big brain time.
But if we do take a tad bit of damage, that's certainly not bad either, because we do have the unknown seeds. We want to get a little bit of HP recovery to get that upgraded into the world tree seed, and we're mainly just waiting for one of these sisters here to swap in so we can get the big damage off. Luckily, when we get Gravy upgraded, we will be basically having unlimited Macbeths and stuff, because you'll get so many graves spawning when you swap in. He really just pairs well with bomber as his support skull, so I am very happy that I found him. And one of these sisters might actually just die here to the Omen item. I don't really know which one we're going for, but we're on to the second phase now. So we're going to start off by getting 2 Macbeths spawned. Hopefully I've timed that right, so they are just going to be dealing big damage to her. Just don't want to be taking too many hits here, swapping in when we can, like I said, playing it just nice and smart. Luckily, getting coward is actually going to be helping us out massively with this build, because I do seem to take a lot of damage playing as Grave, but we should be fine there because he is so small, we're not going to get hit by that. Now let's just keep the Macbeths going. They are probably his most damaging skull that he spawns with his skills, so I am certainly happy that we've got it. And this sister isn't going to be living for too much longer, probably only a few more kabooms, and she should actually just be dead there. Very, very easy sisters fight. I didn't expect it to go that well, so I'm thinking Gravy is a lot better than I thought he was. So let's open the chest here, see what we're going to be getting. And we do go ahead and get Wisp, which is not a bad skill for Gravy. So let's pick this up, move on to the curses. And what we're doing is buying Silent Cries and also maxing out Go-Getter. Now, Silent Cries really helps with Gravy, especially when we get into unique and he gets his 2 skills. So let's go ahead and upgrade him now. Now, we should be able to get this guy upgraded just after the Chimera fight, if we are lucky. And we did get his 2 best skills on him in Macbeth and King Lear.
That's class!
So I am certainly happy that we've got those 2. And Wisp giving us the extra charges on them really does help out with our damage as well. So we just need to keep spawning these and not taking too much damage when we don't have to. And luckily, our Kaboom bombers should just be able to wipe out Freezer very, very quickly. So let's move on, take the next school room here. We just need to find at least a few uniques, or maybe even a few legendaries to get this guy upgraded just after the adventurer fight.
Ball of foreshadowing.
which would suit us a lot better than getting it done early on. And let's see who we get here. Skul can get destroyed. Let's move on to the shop. And we're going to be looking at our fourth and final mutant and coming up top, re-rolling for an item. And you know what? We found the invisible knife, so I don't think it's going to be a lot better to re-roll from now, so we're going to take this anyway. I mean, our Omen item can crit, which is nice, so it'll be getting a little bit of damage off with that, which is certainly not bad. Let's come down here. We want to kill all of these guys before anything happens. Luckily, the purple guy down there should just die to the Omen Idol of the Forgotten, and then Bomber's Kaboom is going to take the rest of these guys out. And let's see who we get. Alchemist can get destroyed. We are going to be able to get this guy up to legendary after the adventurers, which is really nice for us. Let's go ahead, get a few guys summoned here, activate Wisp so we can get that maxed out again, and then just keep the Omen items layered up on Freezer. If you've never actually used the Omen Idol of the Forgotten paired up with like a bomber or someone, I'd highly recommend it. It is a very good way to play the game. And let's see who we get here. Minotaur can get destroyed. We are onto the adventurers, which means we can get Gravy upgraded just after this fight, which is very good for him.
Nice.
And we just want to be keeping all the graves spawned so we can do some shenanigans with Gravy, but we are going to be going for the adventurer first because she is the more annoying one. Let's just keep that Omen item up, and she is dead here. Let's go after the hero next, and we just want to stun him before he does anything, and he's going to die here. Very, very easy hero fight this, especially against these three. I don't think they're actually going to be lasting too much longer now. And there we go. The thief should die to one more Kaboom when he spawns in, and that is the adventurers done. Now, this is really quite a tough choice because we do find the Solar Sword to get Fulgent Dawn, but we also find Davy Jones. And you know what? I can't pass up on Fulgent Dawn. I know it's a legendary, but we're going to be taking this. And let's move on. We can still upgrade Gravy anyway, so let's go ahead and do that now and get this guy to legendary. And we're going to be putting the rest of the bone fragments into our HP. We want to get this totem maxed out at least by the end of the game. And now we've got legendary Gravy. This run is going to become a lot better. We can actually just jump over this. And is it going to let us just kill these guys up top, or do you need me to fall down? I think it's going to need me to fall down and kill these lot. Unfortunately, there's not actually anyone down here, so we can't just go ahead and like use an NPC, because there's normally like a King Slime or someone at the bottom, but not this go. So let's take the money, move on. We're still going to be taking skull rooms over anything because we want to get as many bone fragments as possible, and actually finding the Harpionite is really good for us.
Thank you.
Probably the best NPC we could have actually found because we've already spoken to King Slime. So that is just 2 ticks into the HP totem, and we're going to be using our Gravy here to just kill everybody, and we get a Yaksha anyway to get destroyed, which is really good. And we're into the shop, so we're going to be buying the 20 bone fragments, and let's just go up top, reroll for our final item. And I don't think we're going to get anything better than Pain and Despair, so we'll take it for now. Probably destroy it later on, but it's certainly not a bad pickup for the 800 coins. And now we are just trying to make our way over to the Chimera fight as quickly as possible, and luckily it's not going to be a hard fight at all for this bomber build. We will just go ahead and actually destroy anyone, and well, he's shown up again by himself, so I'm happy I didn't destroy him and took the Fulgent Dawn instead. It was probably the smarter idea for me. And let's just go ahead, kill the rest of these goons, see who we get, and Warrior can get destroyed. We are onto the Chimera fight. Now this should be an absolute breeze of a fight. Nothing's going to stop us, so let's go ahead and kill him.
Okay, let's go.
And we do also nearly have our World Tree Seed activated, which is quite good for us. Would certainly like to get that upgraded nice and quickly as possible. We're just going to keep spamming the Macbeths and King Lears to get all of these guys upgraded. Luckily, they are actually doing a ton of damage, and we just don't want to be forgetting to swap in with Bomber because that is the main part of this run. So let's keep direct damage onto Chimera. It took a little bit too many hits there than what I would have liked. Luckily, we dodged through all of that perfectly. Let's activate Wisp, and there we go. Chimera is dead. Not exactly a bad fight. We did take a little bit more damage than I would liked, but that's going to help our recovery. So let's open the chest here, see what we're going to be getting. And we do in fact get Troll, which, you know what, we might as well pick up. And we also activated and unlocked the World Tree Seed now. So let's move on to the curses, and we are just going to be upgrading Silent Cries to the maximum. And let's move on here. We can fully upgrade our HP totem, which is really nice, and then we can start worrying about our skill cooldowns. So let's go into this. stats. I don't think we're going to get this maxed out by the end of the game, but we can certainly try. And now we only really need to get a few more better items. If we can get some like wisdom, like nether mana suppressor, just to boost our actual magic attack, that would be quite good for us. Other than that, we are doing very, very well, especially getting these two upgraded as quickly as we did. And all we really need to worry about is keeping our HP for the Joan and then the hero fight. There's nothing much else we need to be worrying about. So let's activate Troll here, and that really does help with our invisible knife. Getting that crit item might have actually been a very good pickup for us that I'm not really seeing just yet. But one thing I can tell you, Pain and Despair is not going to be lasting for the entirety of this build. So let's move on here. Let's swap out, activate Troll. That did just kill everybody instantly, which might have been a little bit of a waste, but hey, who really cares? So we've got a few enemies here. We'll swap out to get some King Lear spawns out with Gravy, spawn Macbeth, and then we can go in for the big kaboom damage. Luckily, with the World Tree Seed activated, we do actually get a 20% reduction in our damage, so that's really helping with the Omen item that we've got. And this is actually the first time I've ever really used the World Tree Seed. I never was a big fan of it, but on a swap build like this, if you're using the Omen item, it does really help. And let's see who we get. Predator can get destroyed. Let's move on to the shop, and we're just going to be taking the 10 bone fragments. Moving on here, we don't exactly have a ton of money because we are really not taking any kind of item rooms. We haven't literally all game, which is a little bit of a hassle because like going into shops, we can't really buy anything. So that's the only kind of really bad run, or bad thing I should say, about doing a double legendary skull build, especially one like Bomber and Gravy where you have to get so many bone fragments to upgrade them both. And let's open the ominous chest here. Nothing too good, so we'll destroy the Omen Despair and move on. If we could only find a legendary chest with nether mana suppressor in it or Pot of Greed just to get that increased physical, I would very much take it. And we want to be activating the World Tree Seed here to kill all of these guys. And let's just swap back out into Bomber. And this is a very powerful build that we've got going right now. I wasn't expecting it to actually go this well. The only other thing I could want is Raven Monarch's Feather, which I don't think we're going to be getting. So let's destroy Prisoner here. It is quite good at seeing him in the run, so thank you for your sacrifice. We're just trying to make our way over to the Adventurers, which I am guessing we're going to be fighting in this next room, if I am not wrong. So let's just kill this purple enemy, use Kaboom to boop him over the edge, and King Lear should just be able to finish him off. And there we go. He's probably the best skull for like clearing out rooms. He kind of has a lot of AoE on him in that ball attack, and then Macbeth's mainly just there for the pure damage. So let's kill the final enemies here, destroy Genie, and move on to the Adventurer fight. And who are we going to be fighting? It looks like it is going to be the Warrior. Been fighting him a lot more recently than I used to, which is a little bit annoying because he does have the most HP and does so much damage. But we can just activate Troll here, get a big amount of damage done with the Omen Idol of the Forgotten. Hopefully he can just not block all the damage we're doing. Luckily King Lear can just kind of control the room with his attack, and then we can just keep swapping out and getting the stacks off. Let's just keep Gravy up with his skills. Luckily he doesn't have any problems with the amount of Graves spawn because there's just so many with the swapping ability that he gets, and that's why Bomber is a very good pair for him. So let's activate Troll here, swap in, let's activate all the abilities. This is where he's going to be taking a lot of damage, so let's keep the Omen Idol going. Let's just keep swapping in. We don't want to get hit literally every single time from that move. That isn't really ideal. Luckily this guy should die pretty soon here, and we're going to keep the revive, and there we go. Didn't take too much damage in that fight, which was quite nice. So we are going to be able to max out this next totem on the right, which I certainly was not expecting. So now we can really just worry about our items and try to get this last totem maxed out, which I don't think is really going to happen unless we get insanely lucky with our skulls. So we are just going to be going into the next item rooms and worrying about that. So let's check the chest here. We are going to be doing this trap room, and we did get it in time to get the discounted money on it. So let's open this, see what it's going to be. And it's actually the Mage's Mana Bracelet, which is probably quite well for this build. So let's pick this up for the Prayer of Grace, and let's move on. Probably one of the better items we could have actually found in there. And we're also going to be destroying the Veiled Mask here. Moving on to the next item room. And if we could just get a little bit more wisdom, probably in the shop, we'll rank that up to level 2 to get that big little bit of amplification damage, which is always nice in a build like this, especially for helping out Gravy's skulls that he summons, which certainly aren't doing bad for the run. They're doing good amounts of damage. And let's open the legendary chest, and we do actually get the ring, which is one of the best utility items in the game. So let's take this for Pain and Despair, and let's move on. Now we do not need our 5th mutant locked in, so we are going to change change that for wisdom and get that up to 2. And let's move on here. Really not had a ton of money in this run. We've mainly just been focusing on all of our kind of skulls, which does make sense in a build like this. But it is just a little bit weird because you never really, well, for me, I never really focus on actually doing a double legendary skull run. I'm always just focused on the one skull that I use for the video. But we are having a very good time here. We're just doing so much damage, spamming all our skills. There's not really a lot of stuff that I could ask for now because once we max out our super baby, we're going to have an absolute ton of HP. We're getting really lucky with the skulls we're finding and the items. So yeah, overall it's been going very well, and my opinion on Gravy has actually changed quite a lot. He's a very powerful skull, I think. I wish I used him a little bit earlier, but there's nothing I can do about that, so we will just go ahead, keep Bomber here, and we are just trying to make our way over to the Joan fight as quickly as possible. I think we'll actually be fighting her just after this room, or the room after, so let's just kill the final dude here with a kaboom, and let's see who we get. Predator can get destroyed. We are onto the Joan fight. Now, we all know she has her 2 phases in the totems and then Joan herself, so let's just go ahead and kill her.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so here we are on Joan. We're going to be doing a little bit of swapping out on this right-hand side, trying to get this totem killed first. Luckily, Macbeth is going to be able to do a ton of damage to this lady, and this first totem on the right should actually just be destroyed now, so you can move over to the one on the left-hand side. There we go. The one on the right is finally dead, and this one is certainly not going to be living for too much longer, and we're already onto the second phase, doing an absolute ton of damage, and we're going to be waiting for all our skills to get maxed out. We're going to be swapping out. Let's activate Troll here. Let's get the Gravies and Macbeths down so we can really do the big damage to Joan. She's already nearly dead. She's not going to be living for too much longer if she goes and sits in the middle, and we can just get the Omen item layered on top of her, and there we go. She is dead. Very, very easy Joan fight there. So let's open the chest, see what we're going to be getting. And nothing too good, so we'll just go ahead and destroy the Armor of Fear. And let's move on to the Curses. And all we're going to be buying is the upgrade to Super Baby. And let's move on to the final act, where we're going to be putting the rest of the bone fragments into the magic attack, which we nearly are going to get maxed out. Only 3 ticks off, which is certainly not bad for a run like this. And now we're just making our way to the final shop. And is there anything that I'm going to want in here? I mean, I guess we'll buy the Miracle Drug of Rage. And nothing else is too good, so we'll move on. So if you guys have enjoyed today's episode, and you do want to help support the channel, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you are new here. There will also be a link down in the description to all my other Skul videos, and there will also be a link to the Discord in the description. And for the build we've got going, we've gone for a legendary bomber with a Gravy on the side, and we've got the Troll Quintessence just for a little bit of crits and some crit synergy with the invisible knife. We've gone for a all-out powerful swap build with double Inner Flame, Omen Idol of the Forgotten, and the World Tree Seed. Then we've just got the Mage's Mana Bracelet for some wisdom, and then Fulgent Dawn for the damage, and then the Ring and Warrior's Pauldrons for that big utility. And then Go-Getter for our item damage in Fulgent Dawn and Omen Idol of the Forgotten. Super Baby and Coward just for that little bit of utility and HP to kind of contradict our Omen item. And then Silent Cries just to help out Gravy with the skill cooldowns. Now there's nothing else much left for us to do except to kill the first hero.
Okay, let's go.
Now we just don't want to be taking too much damage in this first fight. Luckily, we know this first phase all too well, so we should be fine to not take too many hits here. We just want to be keeping the Omen layers maxed out, getting them hits in with Gravy when we can, and the Kaboom and stuff should just be able to finish this guy off. So let's just keep our no hit up right now. Let's get the Omen item going, and he's probably going to be doing his big ultimate move very soon because he is on hit 1 HP. There we go. And unfortunately we didn't no hit it because we did get hit there, which is quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. We'll set up a few King Lears and Macbeths to do some big damage here to the hero, and he is going to be out of his first phase now. Going very well so far. Only took 1 hit, so in this second phase we should be doing absolutely fine. Let's just get the Kaboom hits in when we can and activate like some King Lears on the side just to get that big damage to the first hero here, and then we can activate Troll whilst he's on the floor, and he's gonna get hit by all these moves, but we just don't want to be taking too much damage right now. So let's activate some Macbeths on him. Let's go in for the swap. We're doing a very good amount of damage to him in this second phase. We just don't want to be getting hit by this move, so let's activate all these guys. Let's get these skill cooldowns going on him and get the Omen layers on the floor. Just swapping out when we can, activating all the Omen items, and then going for a big Troll hit because that invisible knife is going to be doing a lot of damage to him. Saying that, he is literally nearly dead. I don't know what happened, but it is extremely good for us. And this should be the final time we need to swap out, and there we go, the first hero is down. Okay, so that was our bomber build in level 10 of the Dark Mirror. If you guys did enjoy, you do want to help support the channel, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you are new here, and click in the top right for a playlist of all my other Skul videos, and click in the top left to see a video that is best suited for you. This has been Mystic, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.